Hi guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is for those of you who are having trouble manifesting what you want. It could be one specific thing that is just not coming to you, or you may just be finding that in general, things in your life are not really progressing in the way that you want them to. And so in the reading, we're going to see if there is anything that is currently blocking your manifestation, and if so, what that is and what you can do to help remove that blockage. So there are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, and I decided to go with all black stones today because these stones do help to protect us and clear away any negativity that might be hanging around us. So they're all the same color, but they're all in different shapes. So I'll just go ahead and show them to you. This is number 1. Number 2. And number 3. So please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so this reading is for those of you who were drawn to this heart shape. I'm actually not sure what this is made of. This is just something that I found at my mom's house and I thought it was very pretty, so I decided to use it in today's reading. But let's take a look into these cards and see what may be blocking your manifestation and what you can do to solve that. I'm going to start with tarot cards and then we'll move on to oracle cards, and today I am feeling called to read any reversals that come up, so we will be doing that. The first card that you have is the 2 of Wands, the Fool in reverse, and the 4 of Swords. So if I start off with the 2 of Wands, let's take a look at the imagery here, because I am thinking of this person as you, this person who is stuck in the bird cage, and it is making me think that you guys may be feeling trapped in your current situation. You would like to get out of whatever your current situation is. And the way this human is so much bigger than the bird cage, like she doesn't even fit into the entire cage, this is making me think that you're very right in wanting this escape. Your current situation is definitely not serving you anymore. It looks like you have sort of overstayed in this environment. You have outgrown this environment, and it is time for you to move on to bigger and better things. But I think one thing that may be blocking you from getting anywhere in this situation is that you may be being a little bit vague with the universe. When it comes to the 2 of Wands, it shows that we have 2 options, 2 paths. I am taking this a bit more in a broader meaning that you have several paths, although it may specifically be 2 for you. I think you may be leaving your destination a little bit too open-ended, and so the universe doesn't really know what you want and what it can do for you. The way manifestation works is like we're over here and we tell the universe that we want to go over here, and then it's the universe's job to find the route there, to forge the path for you. But if the universe doesn't know if you want to go here or here or here or here, it doesn't really know which path to create for you. So I think for you guys, it's not enough to just say, I just want to get out of this cage. I just want to get out of here wherever I am now. And the universe would like you, it would be very helpful for you to be more specific. Okay, you want to get out of the cage, but where do you want to go? Because then the universe knows how and when to come and get you out of this cage and where to take you after that. So for an example, let's say one of the things that you guys want to manifest is, you know, I want to be very successful in my career. I want to be abundant in my career. But maybe you haven't decided specifically what career you want to do. And the universe is saying that you can be successful in many different careers. The 2 of Wands is about having options. It's about having several paths that are both or all good for you and that are all leading to your growth. So the universe is saying, okay, you want to be successful? Well, I have many different paths prepared for you, many different ways that you could do that. So which one is it that you would like to go down? And a sort of waiting for you to make that call. Or maybe you're saying you want to manifest a soulmate, you want a relationship, and the universe is saying, okay, well, you have several soulmates or many people out there who are very compatible with you, but the way each of them would come into your life is very different. So before I start unleashing this chain, this series of events that is going to bring you, I need to know which one you want to go to, because that kind of changes everything. That changes all of the work that I have to do. So the universe is just waiting for your word, it looks like. And I often describe manifestation as like this game of catch that we play with the universe. So you start with the ball and you tell the universe what you want. And then you pass the ball to the universe. And then the universe recognizes what you want, comes up with a way to get you there, a chain of events, and then reveals the first step. Reveals the first step to you, and then you catch the ball and take that action. I'm sorry, I feel like that was kind of long, but you see, it's this back and forth. Like you make a move and then the universe makes the move. And I think what may be blocking you guys right now is that in this game of catch, you are under the impression that it's the universe's turn. I don't know, have you ever been sitting there like you're playing checkers or something and you're both just sitting there in silence and nothing's happening? And you're like, it's your turn, you're supposed to go. Wait, what? No, I thought it was your turn. It's something like this. And this reading is telling you that it is in fact your turn. It's your turn to make the move and tell the universe what you want and be very specific. The Two of Wands is a very happy card, I feel. Like the whole idea of you having several paths that you can take, it is supposed to be a happy thing. But maybe some of you guys are actually feeling a little bit confused or a little bit overwhelmed with all of the possible paths that you can take, because you may be under the impression that one of them is right and the others are wrong. And so you're putting this pressure on yourself of, I don't know what I should manifest. I don't know what is the right thing to manifest. But there is no right or wrong when it comes to what you want to manifest. It's just that. It's just whatever you want. So back to that career example, maybe you know that you want to be successful, you want to have abundance, but you're thinking, I want a career in either this or that or this third thing, but I don't know which one is right for me. I don't know which one I should do. And it's like, maybe you're waiting for the universe to show you which one is the right one. But the fact of the matter is that there is no right or wrong. It's only what you want in this situation. All of the paths ahead of you are enjoyable. They will lead to growth and they will lead to your prosperity. So it could be this kind of situation where you're putting too much pressure on yourself to make the right decision. And as a result, you're sort of freezing up and not getting anywhere. And I think that this is reflected a lot in the Fool in Reverse card, because in the upright, this would show you just going for it, just taking that leap. This is the very beginning of your journey, the Fool card, because it is the 0 card. So it shows that first step towards your dreams, or that first step into the unknown. And so with the Fool in Reverse, it does feel like you guys are maybe holding yourselves back, or you're reluctant to take that first step, because once you take that first step, it's like that's your decision solidified. And I think you guys watching this, it may be like you would rather just have the universe tell you what to do so that you know what to manifest and you don't have to deal with the pressure of, what if I picked a path that I'm not going to like? What if I picked a path that isn't good for me, and everything like this? But this is basically the universe giving you the okay to select literally any path that you want, any path that you enjoy. And even the Four of Swords here, this is showing that a blockage to your manifestation is inaction. So this really seems to be coming up throughout the reading, that you guys may be taking a more passive role in manifesting the things that you want and in really choosing your path. I'm feeling like there may be kind of two groups within this reading. I think there may be one group who you really don't know what it is that you want. You just have a vague idea that you want to feel better, or you want to get out of your current situation. And then I think the other group in this reading is like, you're just trying to keep the options open because you felt that that was what you were supposed to do. And I think some of the language when it comes to manifesting can be a little bit misleading, because we're always saying things like let go of the outcome and detach yourself from the process. And it kind of does sound like we're supposed to go into it with no expectation and no plan and just let the universe do whatever. So I do think that language is a little bit misleading. When we say let go of the outcome, it doesn't mean that we don't have a desired outcome, or it doesn't mean that we haven't made up our mind about what we want. It's more about not letting the way things play out emotionally affect us. So not getting your heart so set on it has to happen in this way, and if it doesn't, something has gone wrong and I'm going to spiral into this negative and defeated energy. It is actually very, very important when it comes to manifestation to be as specific as you can about the outcome that you want. Now, the steps to get there, that's where you can be a bit less specific, because it's not really your job to figure that out. The universe just looks at where you are, where you want to go, and creates the path for you. So in that phase, I think you can kind of let go, but let go of the outcome, it doesn't mean to not have an outcome. It just means to not let your emotions be affected by this event looks like my outcome's not gonna show up, and this event looks like it is, and questioning all the time what the universe is doing. I think that is really what let go of the outcome means. So of course you are very much allowed to have an extremely specific vision of your future, and you're allowed to feel good creating that. When you guys are doing visualizations, and if you're not doing that, I think that would be a really good idea for you guys. Just put yourself in the end. So not in the next step, not in you getting there, but in the very, very end. So maybe where you see yourself in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years or whatever it may be, and be very, very specific about the things that you have, what you're doing in the world, what people are in your life, and really paint that picture, and the universe will then know, okay, this is the path that I'm supposed to forge for you. This is where you want to get to. Before, I wasn't sure which path to forge, but now I understand. And boom, then you pass the ball over to the universe, and now it's the universe's turn. So that concludes the tarot cards. Let's take a look now at our oracle cards. There's Soul Time. Bring love into the situation. And the answers you need are coming in reverse. So I'll just make sure that everything is fitting into the frame. So this Soul Time card is really, really interesting, and I really like it within this reading. And just the word soul time is so cool, and I think it really speaks to the difference between how we perceive time as mortal humans in a physical body, where we're here, we can't be anywhere else in time. We can remember the past, but we cannot see into the future. Whereas when we reconnect with our immortal soul, we can see all of the times as one. We can see all of the times at the same time. So we can see the past, the present, and the future. And we can also see all of the different potentials, because time does kind of branch out into different potential timelines. And when you're in the soul world, your higher self can see these different potentials. So that means wherever you are right now, your soul sees where you'll be in 5 years if you choose path A, where you'll be in 5 years if you choose path B, and so on and so forth. And what makes this message so cool to me in this reading is that those of you who are struggling to figure out which path is best for you, which path is going to make you the happiest, and really bring about that future that you want, when you guys are doing these visualization practices, and especially I'm hearing if you do this in a meditation, your higher self actually is coming through to say, I will show you. So if you don't know exactly what it is that you want yet, let your higher self help you. Because like I said, your higher self can see all the potentials. So maybe get clear in your head a few paths that you're interested in, or a few ways, a few actions you could take, and you want to know how things are going to play out. And when you sit down to do your visualization, rather than your mind just producing an image, I'm feeling that it's actually going to be your higher self who is coming in and saying, this is what your life is going to be like, this is what your life is going to feel like. Basically giving you a little preview, a little bit of a sneak peek, if you will, to help you choose the path that you want to go down. Now, when it comes to making your decision, this bring love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius. Definitely pick the one that you love the most. Your love and your passion should be at the base of any decision it is that you make, not how much money it's going to make you, how much validation it's going to get you, what people are going to think of your decision. Don't use any of those factors to determine what is right or wrong for you. And especially, I think you guys need to sort of get rid of the idea that there is a higher power who's going to determine what is right and wrong for you. Not even the universe can tell you that. That is not the universe's job. It just sees what you want and matches that. I'm definitely sounding like a broken record, but don't worry about making the wrong decision, because there is no wrong decision. As long as you follow what you love, everything's gonna work amazingly. And be very, very honest with yourself about what that is, because sometimes our perception of what it is that we really want to do is tainted by those other things, because our ego is concerned with what makes us money, what people are going to accept, what people are going to think of us, because those things make the ego feel safe and secure in this world. And sometimes that can really seep into our idea of what we love. I remember there was one point where I was telling everybody I knew that I wanted to do a certain job, and really convinced myself for a while that that was what I really loved and that was what I really wanted to do. But the reality of it was that I loved the idea that people would hear me say I wanted to do that and think, wow, she has a good head on her shoulders. That is a very practical job. Because I was so insecure of telling people that I wanted to be creative. I thought they would be like, oh, that's not a real job. And I really believed it. I really believed that that was what I wanted, but it was very ego-based. So when I look at this person pouring out the water, this is like pouring out all your emotions. I do tend to mention that she is bare, she is naked, because it's like exposing yourself and bearing all to your own self, becoming very honest with yourself about your emotions, what it is that you really love and what it is that you really want. I think you guys really need to hear that you have the permission to manifest anything that your heart desires. And I think the blockage is you feeling like, should I do it or should I not do it? You should. If your heart wants to, you should do it. As long as you're not hurting anybody. That's really the only thing that I could think of where I should tell you not to manifest something. But if it's just between your future path A and your future path B, just do what you want. Just do whatever your heart is telling you. And again, if that's a little bit hard for you to figure out, your higher self will help you. Your higher self will show you images and show you scenes of your potential futures. And I think this is a really nice way to just end that thought off. The answers you need are coming in reverse, because this phrase, the answers you need are coming, I guess to me, I think of like you're standing here and the answer is coming to you from the outside, but it's not coming to you, it's already here. I guess you could say it's coming out of you, but you don't need to look outside in the world for the answer. It really is already inside of you. And I just think that message of it's coming is in reverse, because it's not really coming, it's already here. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Hi number twos, so this reading is for those of you who were drawn to this stone. This is actually black tourmaline. I don't think I said that in the intro, but that's what this is, just in case anybody was wondering. So let's take a look at what may be blocking your manifestations and what you can do to solve that. So I'm going to start with the tarot cards and then get into the oracle cards afterwards. And I am feeling called to use reversals today, so if anything comes up in the reverse, we will keep it that way. So starting with your tarot, there's the Ace of Cups, the Devil, and Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, looking at these cards, I think that many of you guys who chose this pile, you may be asking about a relationship that you're trying to manifest. If you're not trying to manifest a relationship, that doesn't mean that this reading isn't for you. There will still be messages for you in this reading, but I just think that the majority of people may be asking about some sort of love connection, some sort of person of interest with whom they are trying to manifest a relationship. I think the thing that is making me think this the most is this Ace of Cups that has come out, because this is a card that can talk about just that, about love and relationships and connection, but it's also about self-love as well. The Ace of Cups is the card that comes before the Two of Cups. So if we think of the Two of Cups as the two people coming together in a committed and loving relationship, the Ace of Cups is what comes before that. So learning to love yourself, learning to fill your own cup before you love and be loved by somebody else. So regardless of what it is that you guys are trying to manifest, because we do have the Ace of Cups here, it does look like one of the blockages that may be present for you right now is that there is still some work that needs to be done on your end with regards to filling your own cup. So that means feeling self-love, feeling secure, and feeling content and grateful with what you already have. I think some of you guys may be struggling a bit with this illusion that happiness will come to you from this external thing that you are trying to manifest. So if this is a relationship that you're asking about, maybe you feel, I'm single right now and I'm not happy with that, or I'm not with them and I'm not happy. But once I find someone, once I get with them, I will be happy. And you can really apply this to anything. You know, once I get this or once I get there, that's when I'll be happy. And I would say 99% of the time, this is an illusion. If you're unhappy here, you're still going to be unhappy when you get there. If you feel lonely when you're single, you're still going to feel lonely in a relationship. This is something that I've really been realizing for myself recently, because I struggle with stress and anxiety. It's kind of like a very frequent state of being for me, and just feeling very all over the place. And I go back and forth a lot between Japan and Canada. And once I've spent quite a long time in Canada, I tell myself, like, I just can't wait to go back to Japan. Once I get back to Japan, everything's going to fall into place. Everything's going to be structured again. I'm going to have time to do all the things I want to do. But then I say the exact same thing when I get to Japan and I've been there for a while. I say, I can't wait to go back to Canada. Everything's going to be so easier when I get back there. And so I'm always projecting this idea of peace and structure and stability on the other environment, this external place that once I just move to that thing, everything's going to be better. But surprise, surprise, for me, wherever I go, my messed up brain follows me there. And so it's not a matter of my environment, it's a matter of myself. And it's like I kept trying to run away from myself by putting my happiness or putting the solution on these external things. So it can really be anything that you're trying to manifest, but you guys may be putting too much of this I'll be happy when it happens, too much of that expectation on the external thing, rather than working right here, right now, with yourself, with what you have to be happy. And this is why it's so important for you guys. I talked about this a little bit in the first pile, but the universe's job is to see the outcome that we want and create the road for us to get there. So you guys may do visualization practices where you're visualizing that future that you want. And that's giving the universe the image that it has to work with. Okay, this is what I need to create. And so I need to provide this path and this route to get there for this person so that they can end up at this image that they're visualizing. So with the example that you guys want to be in a relationship with somebody, you may be doing your visualization and you're picturing you and your person of interest. You're happy together. You're full of peace and love for each other. Everything is perfect. Everything is wonderful. Basically, your happily ever after relationship. And so the universe sees that, and the universe knows that that's what you want. And that's the very reason that the universe would hold back from manifesting this relationship to you right now. Because if they were to get you together with this person, it would not look like the image that you're visualizing. And that's the blueprint that the universe has to stick to, because that's what you've told the universe you want. If you were to step into this relationship right now, if the universe were to give it to you right now while your cup is not full, it would not match with your visualization. So one of the steps to your manifestation is actually becoming happy without it, is filling your own cup first. This means being content and grateful and feeling whole and complete with who you currently are, where you currently are, and what you currently have. So the next card that we have here is the Devil. This does make a lot of sense for this card to come up in a reading about blockages, because the Devil is a card that represents limiting beliefs. So there is something you guys can do to figure out exactly what your limiting beliefs are if you don't know what they are already. And it goes back to visualizing this future that you want, that future where you're happy and you have everything that you've been dreaming of. Of course, the feeling that you get from visualizing that is happy, but also pay attention to what your mind is thinking when it observes this visualization. Is your mind saying, wow, that looks great, I can't wait for that to happen, and it definitely will? Or is your mind saying, that's dumb, that's not going to work, that's too good to be true? Because you will have that emotional reaction and you'll also have that mental reaction. And if your mind is watching your visualization and saying, that doesn't look real, that doesn't look realistic, this is a dumb thing to be visualizing, you can sort of grill your mind and ask it why it thinks like that. And it may help you if you can write this down, like what is going through your mind when you're doing this visualization. You can even do this when something doesn't go right. So if you tried to manifest something and it didn't work out, pay attention to what your mind tells you. Is your mind telling you like, it's okay, it can still happen, we'll keep going? Or is your mind saying, I knew this was going to happen, I shouldn't have tried anyway? And if it is saying the latter, again, ask your mind why. And again, it might help to write that down. And through doing this, you can figure out what your mind truly believes about the situation, and you can weed out those limiting beliefs. And then the final card that we have is the Seven of Wands. So this is a card about fighting, about a tough situation. When I say fighting, I mean like fighting for something to happen and really, really putting in a huge and sometimes quite tiring effort. And this is coming out in reverse. So this could be a message for you guys that when it comes to this thing that you want to manifest, I think you may be fighting too hard, like draining yourself too much, doing too much to make this happen. And this is not meant to be hard. This manifestation process is meant to be easy and fun. And so the thing that is making it difficult, it's not anything on the outside, but again, it is something on the inside that needs to be identified and addressed. If this whole process is becoming stressful and tiring and discouraging for you, it may be time to step back and take a look within. Because again, even this image is making me think of that idea of you can climb all these ladders, you can go through all these steps and make all this effort to get to where you want to be. But if you're not happy within yourself, you won't feel good when you get up here. Like, look at this girl who's sitting at the top. She has climbed up all this way. She's fought so hard. And she doesn't even look happy. She just looks tired and exhausted and maybe thinking if this was all really worth it. So I think often the mindset or the emotion that we're carrying during the journey is going to be the same mindset or emotion that we carry at the destination. So if you guys are feeling stressed and drained about this whole manifestation process, it's likely that you're going to also feel stressed and drained when your manifestation gets here. And I know that's not the way you want things to play out. The universe knows that's not the way you want things to play out, because the universe sees your visualization of the future. So I really think the message for you is to set this down for the time being, take a step away from it, and see what within you needs to change. How can you get to this place where you are truly happy with yourself and only yourself right here, right now? So that concludes the tarot cards, and let's get into your oracle cards now. There's communication, hold your vision, and balance spirituality and practicality. So this communication card is also making me think that this will be relationship related for many people. You may be trying to manifest communication or contact with someone who has drifted away from you. But now that I think about it, this can also be, communication coming in from a job offer or from a school or something of this nature as well. But maybe this card is a confirmation for those of you who are trying to manifest communication. With the Hold Your Vision card, I do want you guys to know that whatever it is you're trying to manifest will come to you. And what is happening to you right now, as painful and as frustrating as it may be, this is actually part of the manifestation plan that the universe has for you. This stepping back and this inner work that needs to be done right now is actually so that this thing can manifest exactly as you have imagined it. So I just want to make that clarification, because stepping away to work on yourself does not mean that you are letting go or giving up on the manifestation, or that it's not going to happen anymore. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. And I really like this phrasing of hold your vision, because it reminds me very much of this visualization that we've been talking about throughout the reading. This dream that you have in your mind, that you go to inspire you, that you go to feel better. That is still there, and that is still real. So don't throw that away, and don't think that taking a step back to work on yourself means that you are throwing that away, because I don't see that the goal of this is for you to come out of it and say, okay, I don't need to manifest that anyway. It's very much you coming out of this and saying, okay, I'm in a good place now, and now I can really bring about the manifestation that I want. So this card is telling you to stay committed and know that that visualization is real. There's just some things that need to be realigned or rearranged so that that exact vision that you have in mind can come to you. And then the final oracle card here, balance spirituality and practicality. This is in reverse. So for any manifestation to come to life, we need to take into consideration the spiritual aspect and the practical aspect. And this image on this card with the two fish swimming in the circle, it's making me think of this infinite exchange that we have going on between us and the universe. It's like we have our idea of what we want, we show the universe, and then the universe provides us with an opportunity. We decide what we want again from that point, and it keeps going on like this. And both spirituality and practicality are very important. The spiritual aspect would be your visualizations, your meditations, your affirmations, your positive attitude, and things like this. This is what shows the universe what you want and what you are ready for. But the practical aspect comes in the fact that the universe might not just give this thing to you. You're trying to manifest a certain thing, and the universe might just not show up and hand it to you, but they will show you an opportunity for you to act on, for you to take action and obtain that thing yourself. So you need to be willing to do the spiritual work, but you also need to be willing to take that action when it comes to you. And that's the practical aspect of it. So that might be something for you guys to keep in mind going through this journey. So just give yourselves a little bit of time, be very patient with yourself, and try to figure out what the root is that is causing this resistance. And I know it's very frustrating, but I think it's actually quite liberating to discover that it all comes back to you. Because if it was an issue on the outside that things weren't manifesting, then you could keep running into this issue again and again as you try to manifest different things. But when we realize that the blockage is coming from within us, we only have to really remove it once. We just remove it once, and then it solves the problem for the thing we're currently trying to manifest and anything we want to manifest in the future. So yes, it is uncomfortable to do inner work, but I think it's a very happy realization to come to, because it puts you back in control of what will happen. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So this reading is for those of you who were drawn to this stone. This is a black tourmaline, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that in the intro, so that's what it is, just in case any of you guys were wondering. So we're going to see what may be blocking your manifestation right now and what you can do to solve that. I'm going to start with the tarot cards and then we'll get into the oracle cards after. And today I do feel called to read reversal, so if anything does come out in the reverse, then we will just leave it like that. So your tarot cards are the Knight of Swords in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Three of Cups. So definitely with the first two cards that we have here, the Knight of Swords in reverse and Temperance in reverse, I can see that the situation you're asking about, it is moving quite slowly. The Knight of Swords in the upright, it would show a situation that is moving very, very fast. There are many things happening at once. And so in the reverse, I am taking this literally to mean that the situation you're going through right now is quite the opposite. I feel like whatever situation you're asking about, it's been very stagnant, and even when there are developments, they are kind of few and far between. And I think you guys are really in this energy of just wanting things to get moving, like it's about time. This manifestation should be here already. Some of you guys may even have, been told that your manifestation was going to happen at a certain time, and it keeps happening over and over again like this, it's going to happen in a week and then it doesn't happen. It's going to happen in a month and then it doesn't happen. And so you guys may be getting a little bit frustrated. It feels like you're like itching for something to happen is the word that is coming to my mind. And when it comes to the Temperance in reverse, honestly, this is the first pile where I might say I don't necessarily think that there is a blockage in this situation, so much as things are just moving slowly. And I think if there was a blockage, it would just be impatience, which is not really a blockage because it's not something that stops your manifestation from coming, but it is something that can make the process very, very frustrating. So I think so far that's the only guidance that is really coming out for you guys, that the biggest issue here is impatience. Now let's take a look as to why the situation might be moving a little bit slowly. I'll just turn this in the upright for a second, and the imagery on this deck for the Temperance card, which I find so beautiful, we can see this stream of, these are prey animals and these are predator animals that are flowing out of this box, and they balance each other out. They work together in harmony. Although they may seem like they are against each other, they actually do work together to create balance in the ecosystem. And there's this system and this rhythm of nature that is ideally beneficial for all of the species. And so if I translate this, it may be a bit of a loose translation, so I'm sorry if it sounds like a reach, but if I translate this into a situation where you are trying to manifest something, it might be that the thing you are wanting, it has very many facets to it, and it involves many people. And what the universe's job is to find the best path, not only for you, but for everybody involved. Like, the universe is not going to take away from somebody else or rush somebody else's journey so that you can get what you want faster. It's going to really take into consideration everybody and find that balance. And so while you on your end might be very, very ready for this thing to happen, you've done all of your inner work, you're feeling really good about it, and you're in this like, let's go kind of energy, there may be some other person or people in this situation who are not quite ready, who still have a bit more work to do, a bit more growing to do, or who haven't had some necessary experiences that are going to shape the way they see the world, so that they can play out this manifestation with you in the best way. And really anything that we want to manifest in life involves more than one person, and very often involves many, many people, because we are all connected and we are all influencing each other. And I just had this image of like even going to the store and buying a fruit. On the surface, it looks like it's just you carrying out the action. It takes just you to make it happen. But if you think about the person who had to grow it, and then who had to ship it, and then who had to take it into their store, who had to stock it, and then the cashier who had to ring it out, I don't remember, who had to ring it up for you, it does take a lot of people's work and a lot of people's energy just to make that one simple thing happen. So I think what you guys are asking about, of course, if it's about a relationship, then it's very obvious. It would be your counterpart. It would be the other person maybe who is not quite there yet. But I'm kind of getting the feeling that there are more facets than you may realize, and there are more people involved than you may realize. And you guys may be getting a little bit ahead of yourself and feeling a little bit hasty and impatient just because you're ready for this thing to happen. And so maybe the guidance here is to ask yourself, who else might this manifestation affect, or who else might be involved in the manifestation of this thing, and what are they going through right now? Because this has to work and this has to be beneficial for everybody, and it also has to be in alignment with their own manifestations and what they want. So the universe may just be taking a little bit of extra time to figure that out. Or I should say that the universe already has it figured out, but it takes extra time to play out in the 3D. The plan that the universe had to come up with is one that takes more time in the 3D because there's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of pieces to it that need to be put in the right place. So I think there's just a need for you guys to have that awareness, and maybe that will help you to make peace with the fact that it's taking longer than you expected. Because yes, I am seeing that it is moving quite slowly and that you have been kept waiting, you have been left hanging for quite some time. And I really sympathize with that because I'm an Aries, so I know exactly what it feels like. But temperance always has to do with this kind of patience, this kind of balancing your emotions, and it is ruled by Sagittarius energy. So it is very much as well about seeing the greater picture and seeing the deeper spiritual meaning behind what is happening to you. So I promise, if there is some delay, there is a good reason for it, but it might be because of something that is bigger than you or something that is outside of you. So even the Three of Cups, actually, because this is a card that can indicate third parties. So there may be a third party in the situation that you're asking about. What I mean by that is just a person other than you. Or if your manifestation involves a person, there may be other people than just you and the person who are affecting this manifestation. And this Three of Cups card, it has a very light-hearted and carefree energy. It is very playful and even celebratory. So I think a general message of this card is just being happy and having fun. And the guidance that is here for you is, for the time being, just enjoy yourself. I know you guys really want this manifestation to come, but that doesn't mean that you need to be unhappy or dissatisfied with where you are currently. And the more things you do, the more efforts you make to really make your life more enjoyable now, the less you will care about when this thing comes. It doesn't mean you stop wanting it altogether, but the timing becomes less important because you're really enjoying yourself anyway. And I have seen this to be true in my life as well. Something I really wanted wasn't coming, and so I started to fill my days with more of things that I enjoy to do, more of things that make me inspired and that challenge me mentally and that make me laugh. And I filled all of those moments of my day with joy and fun and productivity, and I started to feel really good about my current life. And it doesn't mean that I don't want that thing to come anymore, but it can come whenever, because I have everything I need over here and I don't feel like I'm lacking this thing. I will be happy when it comes, but I don't feel that anything is lacking right now. And so I think this Three of Cups is advising you guys to fill your day, just like I said, with more things that bring you joy, with more things that are fun to you, with more things that challenge your mind and make you feel inspired. This is gonna make the time go by faster, and I think it's just good advice in general. We should all be doing the best to enjoy our day-to-day life. So that concludes the tarot cards, and now we're going to get into the oracle cards. I'll just move these up a bit because they haven't been fitting in the frame together very well. So first we have the card of compassion, which I think makes a lot of sense. And then we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Love to see that too. You've definitely been through a tough cycle. And you and your loved ones are safe. Even this card makes me feel that more than one person is involved. The compassion one definitely made me think that as well. Again, if I expand the meaning of compassion to something more broad, It could be just having an understanding for other people's lives, where other people are at, and making peace with that. So I think it ties in really well to the Temperance card and this idea of coming to an understanding that it's not just you who is affected by this manifestation, and it's not just you who has a role in making it happen. There are many moving pieces to this puzzle. And one piece of guidance I also want to give you is be careful not to get into this way of thinking that somebody else is doing something wrong or needs to change their behavior or change their way of acting so that you can get what you want, because everybody does have free will, and no matter what you're trying to manifest, the people involved are still going to act in a way that is natural to them. We cannot change people's behaviors and we cannot change people's habits. Yes, they can change over time and we can certainly be influenced by other individuals, but there is no such thing as a person behaving in a way that is wrong just because it's not in alignment with your manifestation, if that makes sense. Just be careful that you're not getting frustrated with people, I guess. Like if you were trying to manifest a relationship with somebody and they're not showing you that kind of treatment or they're not showing you that kind of affection, they're not doing something wrong. Now, if they are intentionally hurting you or if they're disrespecting you, that's another story. But if they're just not showing so much interest in a relationship or so much interest in commitment, there is nothing wrong with that. And it's important to understand their position too and have compassion for that. So I think this is just an understanding that the universe is working in each of your individual lives. And yes, you will all come together to make this manifestation happen, but the universe is doing what is best for this person and this person and this person and this person. And you may not understand that. You may not understand why this person is behaving this way or why they have to be over here doing this thing in this place, but that is what is best for them. That is what they are manifesting. And the more pieces there are, the more the universe has to work to find a way that all of your manifestations can coexist together. And sometimes that takes a very, very long time to figure out. So having compassion for people involved and also having compassion for the universe is if this is something more complex that the universe is working on. And again, I'm loosely translating compassion to understanding and being at peace with the current situation. But look at this next oracle card that we have here. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So I really, really love to see this given the energies that we have seen here with the Knight of Swords in reverse and Temperance in reverse, which, as we mentioned at the beginning of the reading, can be very, very frustrating. It can lead to confusion and discouragement. Why is this happening to me? And this card is telling you that this will all be over soon. This approaches, it does make me think that this is happening in the near future. And it's interesting that you have Capricorn energy here because this is the energy of Saturn, and Saturn does very much like to test us. I think when it comes to manifestation, if Saturn energy is present, it's almost like he tests our commitment and he tests our discipline. So many people in your position, they might get too impatient or they might be not so considerate of other people's positions, and they might not be so considerate of the bigger picture and just be very focused on what they want and what they feel they should have right now, to the point where they're like, forget about it, and they just drop the manifestation. And so I think if you have Saturn energy going on here, there is really something of a test when it comes to this manifestation. Not a blockage, certainly not a blockage, but a test. Are you willing to find a way to control your emotions, to control those ups and downs and the impatience? Are you willing to step out of yourself and your own perspective to look at everything else that is going on? Understand why it might be taking some extra time and that it's not about you. It's not that you did anything wrong, but maybe some other people involved just need a bit more time, or they need some certain things to happen to them to lead them to where is best for all of you. If you're willing to do that, because I don't know if so many people are, or if it occurs to so many people that their manifestation is so much bigger than what they may be perceiving in their minds, that is sort of like your test. And if you're willing to understand and make peace with that, and if you're willing to wait, then Saturn will eventually reward you. And then the final card that you have here is you and your loved ones are safe. I really love this card because it makes me think of a mutual spirit guide or mutual guardian angel who is watching over many people. So if you are asking about a relationship, this will tell me that there is a spirit guide watching over you and your person right now who is going to make sure that both of you are safe and protected and that you will come into union together when the time is right. And again, if there are more people involved in this situation, then this spirit guide can even be watching over several of you, several people, making sure you are all safe and helping to make sure that what happens is going to make everybody happy and be the best for everybody's growth. But this is coming through as a reassuring message to tell you that nothing has gone wrong. You have not done anything wrong. This manifestation is not being withheld from you. You are not being punished. Everything is happening exactly as it should. And everybody is going to be safe and everybody is going to be happy in the end. This is kind of the hardest part of the journey, is that we cannot see the way there. We cannot see the way there to the outcome that we want. We can only guess maybe what it should look like. And when it doesn't look like what we thought, it causes us to become very, very uneasy and question what is happening to us. So it's very important to remember that however things are playing out, that is what the universe has determined is the best way based on where everybody is at. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!